considerably more satisfied with this performance than on Tuesday and today?
I'm happy we won. You know, I went in the locker room and I said, how many of you guys picked up the scout report and read the scout report other than what the coaches kind of spoon-fed you? 5 guys, I think it was. All 5 returning guys. How many of you watched the scout on your iPads? Same guys. And that's why we have a 4-point play at the end of the half, because that was a newcomer who, as much as you tell him, you know, that he was the leading 3-point field goal percentage shooter in the Missouri Valley a year ago. You better find him. And we didn't do, and then, you know, we had it kind of going our way, and then it goes to 6 at halftime, and then they come out and make a little run to start the half, and I've seen that picture before. Don't like it much.
So what changed that picture?
Well, Aaron hit a big shot. And we finally got a stop. And Wani found Terry in transition, and Terry had a step in 3, and shots that, you know, Terry and Aaron and those guys are very capable of making. And so, you know, all of a sudden it went from 4 to 10, which when you look up there at the scoreboard, you feel a little more comfortable when it's 10 rather than 4. And we got a couple stops. We're not going to continue to outscore people. We're going to have to do a better job defensively. Not very happy with that, but a lot of that comes from guys not knowing or not paying attention to what they're supposed to do. And that's the new guys. And it's not, you know, it's those other guys have been here and they understand, and they've been through a season or 2. And so they know the consequences, where I think our newcomers don't understand the consequences yet, although you would have hoped that the Blacksburg experience would have helped them with that. It hasn't to this point. It's just we're going to have to keep grinding and grinding and grinding on them. And you know, you got to do some things. You got to bring something to the table. Bremy shot the ball extremely well at Virginia Tech. Shot the ball extremely poorly today. That's going to happen. I mean, that's basketball. That happens. But you know, you have to contribute in other ways, and that's what we've got to kind of get through to them. You know, when the ball's not going in, do some other things. Screen, get some guys open, get some offensive rebounds. Try to guard once. Just, you know, some of those guys, I think, if they actually stopped the guy once, they'd kind of like it. You know, might want to do it again. Now it's a continual parade to the rim.
Coach, you were talking about the other day putting Terry in a bad spot. Do you feel more comfortable putting him in now? Is he practicing?
Well, he practiced, Justin. He didn't practice before. I mean, I didn't know at Virginia Tech how much Gary would be able to go. So I was going to try to steal some minutes with Terry. I know Terry's, you know, weird. When you sit down and you look at our team, you know, you think, okay, Jawan Staten's our point guard, Aaron Harris is our 2. You know, Terry Henderson's going to be a wing for us. He's going to play, you know, he's going to spell Aaron some, and he's going to share some time with Nate at that position. And, you know, Nate, then we can play Nate a little bit at the stretch 4, which kind of widen things out a little bit better. But hopefully we get everybody back and here soon.
Would you, Gary, if you had to?
You know, I don't think he planned on dressing because he didn't think he could go. But yeah, I was going to have him just go in and shoot free throws, which I maybe should have anyway. Yeah, maybe. But he's shot the ball pretty well.
How do you feel Jawan and Aaron did overall?
Jawan's been terrific. He really has. He's been terrific. He listens. He's trying to do the right things. He's trying to run our team. He's trying to be an example for the younger guys. Aaron made some shots. I mean, Aaron gets shots. You know, Aaron had great shots, and Aaron very easily could have had 35 in Blacksburg if he'd made some layups. He can score the ball.
Devin Williams had a double-double. What more does he have to do to progress as a young player?
Guard his man, maybe. He gets himself in bad positions because he takes some plays off. He's got to understand how hard you got to play for how long you got to play. But Devin's doing what we thought Devin could do. We thought Devin could come in and rebound the ball at this level, and I think he's shown he can do that. And thank God he is, because we are losing the battle of the glass every game.
The problems that your big men have been having with helps on defense, is it knowing how to do it and what you're asking them to do? They haven't done it before.
Well, they've done it since the day they walked on campus. So it's not they don't know. It's they just don't do it. You have to condition them. It's almost, it has to become an involuntary reaction. You just do it because you've done it so many times. And I mean, I don't know how many more times we got to do it with them. But it's just Brandon Watkins brings us some really positive things. And we work for 3 days because this is a pretty good pump fake team and a pretty good, step around your team, try to create an angle, but with their bigs, because they're not overly big, they do a great job of creating angles. And so we stressed and drilled, not just stressed, but we drilled, stay on your feet. Stay on your feet, and first thing he does, gets in a game and jumps, and the guy goes and shoots a layup. It's just a matter of doing it enough so that they become conditioned to do it, and a lot of it is as I tell them, you got to be tough enough to do the right thing all the time. That's when you're good, when you do the right thing all the time.
How important is it that this is the second year that those guys have been together, especially Juwan and Aaron?
Well, as Aaron told me, he said, "Coach, I understand why you were so frustrated a year ago. I understand." He said, because he said a year ago I had no idea. I was just running around trying to figure it all out. And I think as the season went on, he did start to figure it out. But now they've got an idea of what I want. They got an idea of how to get opportunities out of the offense. I think Wani the same way. They understand the offense so much better, and they understand that don't do the same thing all the time. Do something else, because you can be very creative in that offense. And we were so like passing screen away that we weren't very creative. And then they're like, this isn't a very good offense. No, the players suck. You don't have to do the same thing every time. Nobody said pass and screen away every time. You can pass, cut to the basket. You can cut, pass, and go to the ball. You can ball screen. You can back screen. You can cross screen. You can diagonal screen. You can post. You can flare screen. It's just a matter of, but you have to have some guys, on the same page. And I think what's happened with Wani and Aaron, and I think Terry will help that to a degree, is they are more on the same page, than what they were before.